Howdy. Welcome to Practical Principles. This is Practical Prince. We're doing Talkin' Tarot. So go ahead and drop your questions in. We'll get as many reads in as we can. I'm just setting up our camera so that we can show the cards. Hopefully you're doing well. And hopefully today will be a great day. Howdy. How have you been? Pretty good. My day just got started, so not too much can go wrong. Or at least it hasn't had much opportunity to go wrong yet. There we go. Okay. Tuck these in. Anything been on your mind lately? Okay. Um, I guess is the first question for the cards? Because I don't know that I'll be able to. Well, I guess we'll see what we get. But I mean, that's sort of like when people ask when. It's hard for me to get very specifics. I mean, if it comes with the inspiration, that's great. But um, just want to make sure that was the intent. Oh, and let me go ahead and highlight the question. Okay. Right. That's the impression I got. Um, this is probably cosplay, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've got them all. Oh, okay. together. Okay. Okay. Hello. Let me finish with Lavina's questions first. But yeah, we can do a reading for you. Oh, and we can't even see that. Let me pull that out. There we go. Okay. So a moderately tempered pear, the primary, moderated by the second one. But again, moderate. It's not strong, but it's not weak either. We've got 5 of birds, 5 of lotuses, and this one tempered by the 6 of embers. Yeah, I mean, not too promising. I mean, it seems like you have people, but you're in conflict with them, and so it's hard to get what you need. I have to double check 6 of embers for how that will moderate that, but I mean, 5 of birds, there's competition, well, and disagreement, really. So, I mean, the note here, I don't know if you can see it, but the 5 birds, there's the 2 full-grown ones, but then the 3 eggs, one of which is lost or being lost because of the fight. So you're missing out because of those tensions. 5 of lotuses would normally be 5 of cups, and that one deals with sorrow and grief, accepting loss, and giving it that moment before trying to press on. And again, 6 of embers is the one I'll have to check. So let me go ahead and set this down and pull that out. I'll skim the others real fast just in case something in particular stands out from this deck, but Cosmo. 5 of birds. 1 at all costs, sneakiness. Yeah. So a certain humility would be the advice for addressing that part. And then 5 of lotuses, loss, grief, self-pity. This last line might be helpful. Let the grief take you, but move through it with grace, knowing that time will eventually heal and the tide will recede. So don't put a back burner to the pain. But again, this is the one that was tempered by 6 of embers. Victory, minor success, self-appreciation. 6 suns rising shows itself when we need to recognize a victory. You have reached a point in your process where you can finally see how far you have come. While your journey is not over yet, it is okay to let yourself be absorbed in this moment. Even your minor successes are a gift worth celebrating. When you start to appreciate yourself, you will find that you are capable of so much more. And this on the tempering the 5 of lotuses. So yeah, I don't know what you've had to let go, but you did it for the right reason. So you need to realize that and celebrate accordingly. But yeah, we're not really getting a substitute. If anything, the 5 of birds would be suggesting that you need to not necessarily mend a relationship, but you need to come at it differently. Because what you're doing now is only hurting both parties. So, not really getting a substitute there. And then I mean, we were handling them as 2 different questions. So, as far as the is there any substitute? I'm not getting that from these. No. Um, and I get that there's not necessarily bad blood, but that idea, negative tensions between the people you should be getting that from is the impression I get. Yeah. Um, Also, as far as actively taking care of that, the focus would be the 5 of birds. And for that, your approach with some people has been wrong. No, you're fine. But really, what we're getting from 5 of birds is that you're fighting with people who could be supporting you, who could be giving you um, that physical touch that you need. So, well, and the idea there is that the conflict is coming from a win at all cost mentality, that you're not going to budge at all. And that's the wrong strategy, and that's resulted in, well, right. Um, well, have we said enough on that? I guess. Because I feel like the first question has been answered. Okay. I'll go on to the, yeah. I'll do the second one, and then once I'm done with that, Harmam, we can do yours. And for that, or well, if any friend is coming. Okay. And is that this deck? No, that's going to be Prisma. Let me switch. Dun, dun. And if we can get a win, that would be nice too. Okay. Okay. I have your question. It's just first come, first serve. So let me finish with Lavina, and then I can do yours. So this turned out in the yes/no format. This one's filling in the yes/no. This, yeah, this is going to be something about the person, and this is more the when they will enter, which I think we'll get somewhat from the yes/no. 7 of Wands, 7 of Chalices, 3 of Swords. Interesting. I want to say it's no. 7 of Wands. That's an exception. And then, yeah. Okay, so normally these two would form a no. But this one is one of the few exception cards. And it says the answer is yes, but you must fight for it. So that is let's read the 7 of Chalices for because I'm curious about when they're going to enter, and then it'll be more relevant being able to identify them. So Let me set that down. Chalices. Deception, dwelling in fantasy choices. By allowing ourselves to be deceived, we deaden ourselves to our problems. It is a way to seclude ourselves from a harsh, embattled world. But dwelling too long in fantasy will leave us vulnerable to very real issues that will not go away if we ignore them. That is not a particularly useful one. I mean, so you would be struggling determining fantasy from fiction, making choices. Hey, Cornelia, glad we could catch you. Um, but as far as when you get over that fantasy and leave it, I'm not sure. But you could be totally unaware of it. So I think that one's just going to be hard uh, to know when it's done, when that's over. Um, and the Seven of Wands for identifying them. Challenge, perseverance, staying the course. The spotlight is on you. You must be resolute in the face of adversity. Your vision is really worth something, and it is up to you to navigate the treacherous terrain that will bring it to fruition. You are nimble, skillful, and the iridescent tendrils of your idea will guide you down the correct path. Stick to the plan. If you can navigate through this challenging time, there will be no stopping you. It's a driven person, which I don't know that I would normally expect that for playing the confidant role, but either you're part of their plan or they're making time for you. So, um, yeah. But I don't really know what to do about the Seven of Chalices. I mean, the whole answer was yes, you've got to fight for it. And I don't know how you identify the fantasy. I mean, you've got your own practice, so. It's so fantasy and fiction are the terms are going to be similar. It's did I mix those up? My bad. Mixing fantasy and fact, reality and fiction. Um, so it's not that you're turning to, yeah. Um, First, you have to deal with Seven of Chalices, and then this person can appear. That's what the exception from the Seven of Wands and this extra information is telling us. Yes, you can ask your question. We'll get to it. As far as dealing with the Seven of Chalices and getting over that, delusion's a strong word, but the fantasy that you've wrapped yourself up in, that's going to be the hard part. Because, I mean, to continue that analogy, it's acting as a blanket for you, whatever that fantasy, that fiction is. So identifying it and letting it go, getting over it, um, can be a struggle. But that's probably why you have to fight for it. So, did that clear things up, Lavina? Um, to deal with the Seven of Chalices, it indicates the problem is that you're ignoring a piece of reality. And by glossing over that, smoothing it, you've built up a lie, a convenient lie, um, but a lie nonetheless. You need to recognize that, get rid of it, and reconcile with the truth that you were covering up. Does that clarify? Yeah, they'll appear. Um, yeah. I know Seven of Wands said you had to fight for it, but I don't necessarily get the feeling that you need to fight for their attention once you're past the Seven of Chalices. I really only feel that the Seven of Chalices is the only thing that you need to fight through. Um, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you have people, but they're not that quality of friend that you're looking for. So if you're being particular, then yeah, you would be going it alone. Okay. And yeah, I mean, if they're not helpful in that regard, then yeah. Okay. No problem. Uh, Harmam, and then Cornelia. And this is exactly the same, right? Um, sorry, I'm just comparing the different versions. Okay. And then compared with. Okay. It's going one of two ways. Is it going towards divorce or will there be reconciliation? Got it. Because yeah, you're not going to stay like that forever. You're going to stay separated. Yeah, Destiny's the deck for this. just trying to figure out how to. I mean, I know the different things, the direction. I guess in this, the one I'm highlighting, there's also the question about what are his true feelings. Um, so, well, I mean, we know what you're interested in. Let's see what we can get. Might need to shift that later. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I've blocked her, well, at this point, but I don't think that blocks her on the Facebook side of things. So um, I should probably make a note about that. Because yeah, I'll have to follow up if I'm going to stop her from spamming your guys' side of it. I realize, but it just it needs its due process, basically. So yeah, I think we're done with that. So that is okay. Okay. So I don't know that we got the outcome per se, and it's kind of hard to see it all. This is a read on your husband. This, his feelings towards you. This, I got the sense, was a clarifying card, not necessarily the outcome, but well, it should help us understand. So we got the Hermit there, solitude, wisdom. His feelings towards you, Nine of Swords, anxiety, worry. And then clarifying, we've got Knight of Cups, new love, artistic. I don't think I've got a solid enough feel for what those are, but I've got a digital guide for this one so I can share it with you while we go through it. We'll start with the read on him. We'll just do them in the order they were flipped. So, start with the Hermit. Yeah. And this was the read on him. So, someone who has a yearning to be alone. He knows that sometimes one must withdraw from the noise and clutter of the world in order to create a space of solitude. The hermit asks us to live quietly for the time being. This card asks us to wisely withdraw and listen to our own counsel, break free of tradition, and find a unique approach to a question or a challenge. The saying that when you are ready, the teacher appears holds true. You are the teacher in this case. Sometimes the card appears when you must heal yourself or heal others. Whatever the circumstance, you are equipped to handle it. So it sounds like the separation is good for him because he needs to work through stuff. I guess if you're pestering him, you might need to you might want to back off a bit to give him some space because that's not conclusive that he wants to be alone in the long run. But for now, he needs a period of time to himself. Feelings towards you represents challenges of the mind, such as worry and fear. It can be called the 3 a.m. card because it describes a situation where you are up all night, sleepless and anxious. External events may have triggered this reaction in you, but the issue is how you are responding to this. This card shows up in your reading as a reminder that so much of your fear and negative thinking is made up in your mind. These issues cease to have control over you when you no longer give them energy. Pierce through these thought patterns because the reality of this energy is, not true. This is the time to take control of your mind. So, a good chunk of that would be advice for him. He's fretting over this. I don't know if it's necessarily to the same extent as you, but it is occupying him. So, yeah, he's still working through that. So let's get to our clarifying card, Knight of Cups. Signifies a dreamy and romantic hero who is heart-centered. This is an action-oriented person who urges you to move forward based on your feelings. Traditionally, all knights have a quest, and this knight's quest is love. This card asks you to lead with your heart. Perhaps a love prospect will be revealed to you, or new friends may enter your circle. If you are thinking about starting a new project, this is the right moment to do so. In any endeavor you take on, be sure to act from your intuition, and do not allow fear to make your decisions. Yeah, so we don't know the outcome. We didn't get that at all. Basically, he's in a similar state to you, but he needs space in order to work through that. So, and he's got that now. I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know if you can help give him more space. I don't know your current situation in that regard. Um, yeah, I'm just not sure about the Knight of Cups because, that indicates resolution in one way. The advice from it was to set aside your fear and worry, which I understand that's going to be hard to do on a good day. Um, there's the promise of that resolution that if you follow your heart, it works out. Obviously, he needs space, and I'm not sure that you know how to handle that. So, yeah, I think the advice is to try to teach your heart patience, but we don't know. So it could be that there's just too much agency involved. We can't see the outcome clearly. Um, he needs his space. Try to give him that. And what you can do is try to not worry. Um, Try to teach your heart patience. And it really doesn't promise one way or the other. I mean, if you guys do reunite, you're not going to have the same sort of relationship as before. Not to speak negatively, but that Knight of Cups, there's a fervor with that. Um, so if you guys do reunite, the relationship will be transformed in a positive way, but it'll be different than before. Alternatively, um, if you guys do divorce, like you also get caught up. I don't know if this will be another person per se, because it could also just be you getting caught up in whatever your endeavor is, whether that's work or charity or who knows what. But that your passion for that will drive you. Based on how you're talking, I'm more inclined to think it's a person, one way or the other. Um, but yeah, we just don't really know the outcome, and we don't know how he's going to handle the Nine of Swords. He's got to work through that or fail to. Um, but yeah, that's for him to do, not for us to force. So, so I know that's not the sort of answer you wanted, Harmon, but that's what we got. Okay. Which deck is this going to be? Oh, let me highlight the. Yeah, and that's fine. This one. Yeah, it's going to be Charisma. We got. This way and We got a yes no spread. So 3 cards. The combination making up yes, no, or somewhere in between. I'll go ahead and show the guide we're referencing. Just briefly, because yeah, our camera needs to refresh. Yep. Okay. So we'll pull the 3 cards, and yeah, again, the combination, unless it's an exception like you saw earlier, because those override, but yeah, yes, no, or somewhere in between. And if I were a gambling man, we're probably going to get 2 yeses, a no, and a neutral, which would be yes, but it'll take time, so later part of the year. Or well, mid to late part of the year. But that's not the read. Let me actually, well, get our camera and then flip the cards. And we'll see. There we go. And we want to see cards, not fingers. How's that? Okay. So let's make that bigger. Wheel of Fortune, that's a yes. 5 of Pentacles, that's a no. Ace of Swords. Yeah, so Ace of Swords is a yes. So yeah, this is the 2 yes and a no. Positive outcome is likely, but may take time to come about. So yeah. Yeah, the impression I'm getting is it'll be more the end of the year. I don't know that it would be the very bottom. I don't know that it would be December, but later part of the year. Let me go ahead and take those off. And yeah, so now I didn't get any extra information, so use your best judgment. I mean, either way, it'll probably be fine. Yeah, like I said, we didn't really get the nuance of, well, what visa in particular. So I don't know, maybe you apply to one and get denied and then apply to the other, and then that comes out in the end of the year. I don't know. Um, um, Thanks for repeating that. Yeah, use your best judgment, um, and do your best to be thorough. I mean, briefly, I got King of Swords tempered by the moon, which would mean dealing with deception, but King of Swords is very capable, very intelligent, and able to overcome. So, as far as countering the moon, which deals with illusion and deceit, although sometimes can be lighting a path, um, you just want to be very well informed. So, read up, make sure you really understand things, and just do your best. Okay, let me go ahead and put that back. Cornelia. No problem. Um, weren't you asking about this weekend last time on the other stream? I guess did the schedule change a bit? Excuse me. Right. I think we ran out of time. But I guess previously, wasn't it? Are you guys going to make up this weekend? But it sounds like you're now asking for next week. I was just curious about that. Oh, okay. Do we have extra information? Maybe some slight stuff. And then what kind of card is this? Related info. Okay. So we got a yes/no spread, and you've probably seen some of that. I think this might contain some slight information, some extra detail. But this one standing alone, that will contain some information on what's going. Well, yeah. Extra information. 2 of lotuses, 6 of trees, a shapeshifter. This deck uses different names than a normal tarot, so I'll need to double check how this maps, but I'm pretty sure those two are going to be yeses. Yeah. Okay, and then let me just check what the... oh, well, let me flip this. 4 of embers. Let me just check what the shapeshifter is. One sec. Only have so many arms. Knight of Wands. And I'm pretty sure that's a yes to... yeah. So yeah, you guys make up. It's all good. Let's see what the... well, the shapeshifter had a note on it. What was that? Okay. Nothing crazy there. 4 of embers. So normally 4 of wands. Community, home, celebration. The shrine shows itself to us when we are approaching a midpoint in our journey. It reminds us that the work is not over yet, but that does not mean we can't take a pause to celebrate and self-care. Your journey will be made much easier with proper rest and reflection. Often when we power through things without stopping, we may get there faster, but not as well off. Pace yourself, and you will come out ahead in the end. So yeah, when you guys do meet, just don't rush it. You guys will have plenty to talk about, so just work through it at the pace you need to. The note on the shapeshifter, I mean, the main thing there is that they are malleable, adaptable. So, I mean, I guess I feel like compromise might have a negative connotation, but it's really just understanding both sides and being able to strike a balance. So, and again, that was just a light touch. So, 4 of embers is really the advice on top of the yes. So, okay. Yeah, let me go ahead and shuffle cards. Yep. That's how it goes. To Texel before Christmas. Yeah, this deck will be fine. Oh, Let me highlight the new question. Okay. Is that really right? Is it just the yes, no? I think it is just the yes, no. Yes. 10 of embers, 9 of birds, 2 of birds. So this would normally be wands and swords. So checking on this. 9 would be a no. 10 of wands. Oh, that's an exception. I'm just curious. Sounds like 2 of birds would have been a yes. But so the 10 of wands is going to override. And it's basically we don't know. So yeah, it's probably just one of those details that isn't particularly important, even though it hasn't been worked out. I mean, it'll be important to you, but big picture and whatnot, it's going to be fine either way. So, okay. So not informative there at all, but that's what we got. Yep. No problem. Okay. And for once in a long time, we've caught up on all our reads, I think. So we might just call it a day and end early. Let me go ahead and put these away. Oh, yeah. I mean, I try to cap it at 2 hours, but we've only passed 1 hour at this point. So by all means. Yeah, that's a personal question. I'm just thinking of how a lot of your questions have been yes, no, which I don't know, for a lot of people, there's some nuance and they need a bit more, but you've probably already worked through it, which is why simple stuff is working just fine. Uh, yeah, I mean, easy to mess up for sure. Or to abuse, really. Yeah, I think it's just a simple yes no. Nine of chalices, Six of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Which pentacles are yeses, so nine of chalices. That's what I need to check. Yeah, that's yes that well. So yeah, answer is yes. The guide would say the answer is certain. So yeah. No problem. Glad I could help. Let's go ahead and put that one back. And I guess if anybody has questions or wants readings, let me know. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and sign off. And I might use the time to try and debug the camera thing that occurs. We'll see. And I should probably come up with a different caption for in betweens, but we'll go ahead and highlight the schedule. I guess it's not that new at this point, but thanks, Cornelia. You too. Take care. Yeah, I should probably do my link tree or something. And I should probably edit this one so it's a little new. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's fun doing readings for you. We've got the schedule on screen, but just in case, 1 p.m. Mondays, 7 p.m. Wednesdays, 7 a.m. Fridays, MST. So convert to your time zone as appropriate. I am looking for a job, so if and when that does happen, I'll let you know what this schedule, the new schedule, will then be. But until then, we can keep doing this. So take care. Have a great weekend, and until next time.